Wow, so The Lost Daughter is a really intriguing and detailed look of the challenges of being a mother. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we are going to be reviewing The Lost Daughter, which is a psychological thriller movie based on the novel of the same name by Elena Ferrante and is the directorial debut from Maggie Gyllenhaal. Now this movie examines a woman suffering from trauma and depression as a mother when she witnesses another mother and her young daughter on an idyllic paradise type island in Greece. Now this movie is a real character piece. It can be a little bit slow / boring at points, but that being said, it's really interesting in how it's structured as it goes from the present to the past via flashbacks pretty frequently, and I'm going to be breaking it all down for you in this movie review. So the storyline of this film is based around a woman who is on holiday while also doing some work as a university professor. Her peaceful, idyllic holiday is then suddenly cut short when a big family from Queens suddenly descends on a beach resort that she is currently residing at. She then really quietly becomes infatuated by another woman and her young daughter, and this reminds her of her own challenging experiences as a mother to two young daughters as well. And the film then concurrently explores both what she's doing in the present as well as looking in parallel what she did in the past. Now from a positive point of view, this movie is really haunting as it starts off really innocently in terms of a woman just going on holiday and then suddenly begins to unravel everything that's going on in her mind. And on that point, it's really raw in terms of how it really explores the challenges of being a mother, and it's also a little bit disturbing in terms of the things that this character is then doing and the obsession that she is having over other characters, even though from the writing of this movie you can somewhat understand why this character is doing it. However, from a negative point of view, like I said, this movie is a little bit slow and can be a little bit boring as a result of it, and I do feel like they could have really delved into the darker side of this character, but that being said, for the narrative that they wanted to tell in this movie, the storyline is actually pretty successful. So from a cast and characters point of view, even though this movie is relatively small in scale, it actually has a really great cast in it. So let's go through them one by one. So first up, of course, we have Olivia Coleman, who is brilliant and really engaging, as always, as the adult later version of this character. She is really clearly troubled by what's happened to her in her past and is making her do some crazy things in the present. We also have Jessie, Buckley, who is playing the younger version of the later character, and I feel like she really does have very similar mannerisms to how Olivia Coleman is playing her in the present. So I feel like this actress is doing a really good job in playing this younger version of this character, and you can really see through this portrayal all of the challenges and the troubling experiences that this character went through in terms of being a mother to these young daughters. We also have Dakota Johnson in this movie playing a character called Nina that the adult later version of this character becomes really obsessed with, and becomes really obsessed with not only Nina but also Nina's daughter as well. And I feel like Dakota Johnson's reactions to a lot of the things that she has to go through in this movie and all of the things that she is subjected to is really great from an acting performance point of view. We also have Peter Sarsgaard in this movie, who is somebody that the younger version of the later character is having an affair with, and it's really interesting as the adult version of this character is then being really judgmental when she sees another character doing something really similar. So I feel like it's really interesting from a hypocrisy point of view. We also have Ed Harris in this movie, who is the apartment owner. He is always trying his luck by trying to hit on the older version of the later character. And then finally we have Paul Mescal, who is playing a character called Will, and he is somebody who works at the beach resort that all of the characters are at, and I feel like it's a really interesting connection that the later character is building with this character, and then she also really questions some of the decisions that he is making towards the end of this film. And so from a cast and characters point of view, it's actually got some really great names in this movie. So the visuals in The Lost Daughter are relatively basic. I mean, it is set on a brilliant, beautiful island in Greece, which is called Spetses. It does rain a lot in this island, but otherwise I do think it's a really nice place to be. It's also using the age-old device of flashbacks to go back to the past so that you can see all of the experiences that the young version of the later character was having. But even though it is pretty raw and basic, I think it actually works really well, as it really does put a magnifying glass on the challenges that mothers have when they're bringing up their own kids, and also the fact that they have to give up their lives sometimes to be able to be a full-time mother. So I feel like it's a really interesting portrayal and truly examining how life-changing being a parent can be, which I feel like is really well showcased in this film. So in terms of comparisons, even though this movie is marketed as a bit of a psychological thriller movie, I would more categorize it as a bit of a drama film. And in turn, I feel like you can definitely compare it to The Woman in the Window, to Run, to The Father, to The Unforgivable, and to Emma as well. And I feel like from an idyllic island point of view, that kind of goes wrong. I feel like you can somewhat compare it to Old and to the White Lotus TV series. However, like I said, this definitely is its own identity and its own space as well. So overall, with The Lost Daughter, whilst I really appreciated the raw emotional narrative that they were telling with this film and the true character focus that they had in this movie as well, ultimately I did feel like it was really, really slow and a little bit boring as a result of that. And so I'm going to give it a score of 4.5 out of 10. Now I'd love to hear from you, so please let me know what you thought of this movie in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.